There's a pleasant breeze and glorious sunshine. So, where shall we go for a walk?
Now hiring. Look, Traveler, an urgent hiring notice, and they're paying top more too. The notice says interested parties should go upstairs and talk to the innkeeper Huayan. Should we go and see what's up? Well, that, and to check up on Yanxiao, of course.
Welcome. Take a seat.
Boss, there's really no need for this. It's just a little burn.
Perhaps not, but continuing to work will only hinder your recovery. You need to rest for a few days.
Huayan! Yanxia!
Oh? Traveler and Paimon! What brings you to this neck of the woods?
And we decided to come check up on Yanxiao.
I knew we shouldn't have posted that notice. It's really nothing to worry about. I'm fine. I swear.
How kind of you. My thanks to you both. And thanks on Yanxiao's behalf, too. There's nothing to be embarrassed about, Yanxiao. Just tell them what happened.
Oh, all right. Well, basically, we had a lot of guests pouring in for the lantern rite. Things got busy. Well, you know what they say. Play with fire long enough and you're bound to get burned. Even the best chefs slip up sometimes. Anyway, it's nothing, just a tiny burn. I can still...
Now. I don't want you pushing yourself. You'll only make it worse. And then you'll be looking at more than just a couple of days off to recover.
But the lantern rite's only just finished. And we're still getting tons of guests. Now's not a good time for me to rest. Plus, lots of the guests are visiting from other nations. We can't just bring in some random chef off the street. We have a reputation to uphold. I refuse to let someone else ruin the good name we've made for ourselves here.
Listen to you. Anyone would think that you're the boss and not me. But he's not wrong. Yan Xiao was one of the favorites in the Masterful Chefs tournament. No matter how you look at it, his are big boots to fill.
I don't mean to boast, but any chef of my caliber probably has their own restaurant to look after. It's not going to be easy to find someone who's got the skills and has the time to help us out.
Looks like we might have to increase the pay we're offering even further.
Do we know anyone that's a good chef? Oh, of course!
Oh, right. Yes.
Well,
What do you think, Traveler? Should we do it?
I should warn you that cooking for customers is quite a different ballgame from cooking for yourself, so I'll stick around the kitchen over the next few...
Oh.
I believe there's some spare kitchenware.
Of course, of course. Whew. All done. Come, take a look. This was made with your measurements in mind. Ah, it's nothing.
You really went to all the trouble of building a new stovetop? What was wrong?
No, it's nothing like that. As Boss always says, having the right equipment is a big part of that. Ill-suited equipment doesn't just make the job more tiring, it also slows you down. And paying customers don't have unlimited... Sometimes cooking is all about being well prepared. That's how you ensure speed.
Okay, and what about precision and consistency?
Precision all comes down to using your eyes. Where to slice into a particular cut of meat, how much oil to use, how to tell when a dish is done cooking. When you cook for yourself, you can always add salt if it's too bland or add water if it's too salty. You can tweak the taste as you go, but in a restaurant, there's not that much room for trial and error.
Worst case scenario, Paimon can deal with any subpar dishes by...
The final thing you have to focus on is consistency. You have to be able to handle the most challenging orders with the same level of technique and skill as the easiest ones. This is particularly important when you have guests from all over, each with their own tastes and preferences. You have to cater to their own dietary needs, while also giving them the opportunity to enjoy our local delicacies.
This last point is making Paimon's head spin.
And of course... There's no time to lose, so let's get started. I imagine you probably have a good handle on the cooking side of things already. What you need to pay attention to is remembering each table's order. Try not to get them mixed up.
Oh, Paimon's memory is like a steel trap. This is gonna be a cinch. Which ticket are we on again? Table 1 was onions, but no chilies. Ah! Was Paimon just sleep floating?
No, but this is peak season. You both did a mighty fine job for your first time serving guests at the inn. Luckily, all our customers were familiar faces this time around, so we didn't get any strange requests. Otherwise, today would have been even more challenging.
No strange request.
It's a wide world out there. Also, the thing about requests is that they're
Excuse me. Are you still open?
Paimon knows that
What should we do? It doesn't look like anyone's here.
It's all right. If we start building a campfire now, we'll be eating before too long.
Right. Besides, if anyone's to blame, it's Linny.
Linny, Lynette, Fremine, it is
Paimon? So, is the Traveler here?
Traveler, Paimon!
Paimon was gonna say the same thing! We're just lending a helping hand at... Anyway, so that's how we ended...
No, quite the opposite.
Father said we deserve some rest.
It's not every day we get this kind of opportunity. Linny thought it might be fun to spend some time in Liyue, especially since it's Lantern Rite season.
We could hardly pass up the opportunity to watch a Liyue-style magic show. Although, I think they call it conjuring here.
In our time here, we've seen conjuring tricks incorporated into a Liyue opera show, and even a wushu dance. It was amazing.
So, we decided to stay here for a few more days to see what other forms of inspiration this land might have in store for us. We visited Granny Roshin in Chingsa village not long ago, and today we continued our cultural tour in the area around here.
In the end, though, we lost track of time. We haven't even eaten anything yet.
And speaking of eating, as you know, seafood is a big part of both Liyue and Fontaine cuisine, but it's cooked very differently here. We simply had to try some local seafood after coming all this way. That's another reason why we decided to extend our trip.
Oh, need any recommendations? What have you tried so far?
That fish one with the misleading name. Sounds bland, but it's drowning in hot chilies.
Oh, you mean blackback perch soup? You're right, the name doesn't give much away.
It looked and smelled so appetizing that Lynette took a huge mouthful, blissfully unaware that she was about to set her mouth on fire. She could barely speak for the rest of the day after that.
Luckily, that wasn't a huge adjustment for her.
What? Aren't you guys hungry too?
Yes.
Yes, I'm ready to eat. Traveler, I'm afraid... good question. I doubt we'll be able to decipher the menu, so why don't you...
One more.
Fontaine, huh? No wonder they can't handle too much spice. Still, if we make the food too bland, they might as well be eating back home.
Ooh, that sounds perfect! What's it called?
Well, this is where it gets interesting. They call it the Palace Jewels. The crab roe is supposed to look like pearls of gold, and the shrimp meat like chunks of jade. Here's the recipe.
Hmm.
Ah, yes. We meant to say, you two must be tired after a long day.
Oh, now that you mention it, Paimon is a little hungry. Well, if you insist, then... Oh, right!
The sauce looks a little overpowering.
Oh, a
Looks delicious, traveler.
What is it? Do you need some water?
No, it's delicious. The flavor is so pure. It's drenched in sauce, but somehow it just enhances the natural flavor of the seafood. Try it for yourselves.
all right.
What is that? Crab roe?
Yep, you have quite the palate, Lynette.
No wonder it pairs so well with the shrimp meat. I've never seen it prepared this way before.
According to the creator, chewy crab complements succulent shrimp, making a spectacular seafood ensemble with a succulent flavor and luscious mouthfeel. The crab roe glitters like pearls of gold, and the shrimp shines like chunks of jade. Hence its name, the Palace Jewels.
So that's where the name comes from. Huh. I suppose it's quite fitting then.
Was Paimon always this well-spoken?
This dish must be right up your alley, Lynette. Huh?
It's half gone already? When did that happen?
I heard that in Liyue, the biggest compliment you can pay to the chef is to leave a clean plate. It's delicious. Thank you ever so much.
Wait, don't fight over it! Hey, leave some for Paimon!
This could be an obstacle. Pantaloon.
So your friends like the dish, huh? Well, there'll be more to come, so keep it up.
So... this is a day in the life of the traveler. I'm learning more about you all the time. Adventure time! Whirling snow!
Scatter!
Go, Barbara, go! Let the show begin.
My apologies! Ta! Yeah! Ha! Ta! Yeah! Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Ha! Ha!
Ink! Ready, steady, go!
Sakura swirl! Take flight!
Let's dance.
Scatter!
Off we go! Adventure time! Whirling snow! Take flight! I'm going in! Whirling snow! My apologies! Kamisato art! Sometsu! So rude! A blade embraces its duty.
Morning. The boss tells me that both new and returning customers have nothing but good things to say about you. I have to admit, I was a little worried about throwing you right into the deep end, but it looks like you've got what it takes to handle the day-to-day here. So it should be plain sailing. Well, just as long as we don't run into any extremely picky customers with unreasonably specific requests.
Oh, have you had someone like that before?
Of course! The worst are those old scholars who have barely cooked a day in their life, but think reading a stack of books on the topic makes them the expert. They criticize you for no reason, claiming your cooking method isn't faithful to the original, or that—
This is Wang Shuin. It does have the look and feel of a time-honored establishment. Oh, innkeeper! We'll have each of your—
Farazan! Oops, madam!
Oh my! Traveler, Paimon, whatever are you doing?
We could ask you the same thing! Where'd you suddenly get the funds to go sightseeing? And to order the most expensive things on the menu?
I'm not here to sightsee. Exemplary scholars like myself are highly sought after by cruise operators in need of an onboard consultant as they travel the world. Madam Farazan, please, slow down. None of us slept last night. How come Madam Farazan still has so much energy? If she's really over 100 years old, I don't understand how she keeps going. It's all my fault.
Layla! And Dory?
Temporary chef, huh? Well,
So, why are
I got my hands on a new boat. Right now, we're doing some Oh, Madam Farazan and me were hired.
overtime? You really
Farazan, Madam Farazan, that is. While I am more than happy to treat you both to the most expensive dishes on the menu, we must remember that most expensive does not always mean best. I've heard that the most expensive dishes in Liyue are usually either seafood-based or take an exceptionally long time to prepare. Now, I don't know about you two, but after so many days at sea, I don't think I can so much as look at another piece of seafood again for at least the foreseeable future. Huh. That's actually a good point. Not to mention that poor Layla here looks like she's about— Huh? Surely the— Oh, well, of course I cared. So, let's not—
This could be an obstacle. Pantaloon.
So, expensive, but no seafood, and nothing that takes too long to cook. That rules out pretty much our entire menu. Do these people get a kick out of being impossible to please?
Ugh, that Dory! Is she doing this on purpose?
This isn't Lioli Pavilion or Xinhua Kiosk. This is Wangshu Inn. We don't stock up on rare and exotic ingredients. We only get them in if someone puts in a special reservation. Well, if we're stuck with regular ingredients and we're on a time limit, there's only one way to bump up the price. And that's by cooking a dish that uses the chef's expertise and creativity to the fullest. As it happens, I know a recipe for something called trembling strings and rushing reeds. It can be whipped up quickly with what we already have in the kitchen. One plate usually goes for 30,000 mora.
30,000? But if it's quick to make and isn't fancy, what exactly makes it so special?
Quick doesn't have to mean quick and easy. To perfect this dish, you need expert knife work and very precise control over the heat. You have to finely slice several different types of meat into fine threads, knead them together into strips, then gently stir-fry them in the pan. What you end up with is a whole variety of flavors that come through layer by layer. This dish is unique in offering a harmonious blend of multiple kinds of meat, all cooked to perfection, while still bursting with their own distinct flavors. Do it right, and you've got a culinary masterpiece in your hands. But if you botch it, it's just a bunch of meat thrown on a plate.
Oh, Paimon gets it now! So this dish gets its value not from the ingredients, but the chef's expertise!
Now, don't worry. I can take care of the kneading and other prep work for you. You just focus on bringing it all together.
Believe in yourself. You can do this! And if you mess it up, Paimon will still be happy to eat it. Food's ready! Please enjoy!
Ooh, smells delightful. Oh, we meant to ask, have you two eaten breakfast yet? If not, why don't you join us at the table?
Did Dory just offer us a free meal? Why did she become so generous?
Let's not forget that the biggest business deals are always settled over a meal. Come on, come on, come on! Sit down and join us! Everyone, dig in! This dish looks simple enough, and I did my research, so surely it can't cost all that much. Worst case scenario, maybe 10,000 mora? This dish had better be worth working overtime all night for. Well, traveler, this is the moment of truth.
Oh, so tired. So sleepy. I just want to eat up and get to bed. Is this foul? Oh, wait. No, the texture is more like shroom boar.
There's a different flavor in every bite. And the discerning palate might detect a hint of something smoked, too. Quite marvelous. How is this made? Ham? But I don't see any ham anywhere. Oh.
Haha! So you've noticed. Yep, every single strip is needed from several different kinds of meat. Paimon and Yanxiao put in a lot of effort to make it just right.
So I'm not an expert or anything, but don't different meats have different cooking times? How is everything in this dish cooked to perfection?
Well, you see,
Wow. So,
Paimon forgot to mention that part. The dish is called...
the complex layers of flavor, yes? Akin to the harmonies of a musical ensemble? The name, if I'm not mistaken, is a Liyue idiom that evokes a vigorous orchestral performance featuring both stringed and wind instruments playing together. Quite an apt name for this dish.
How did you know all that?
Every student has to master at least 20 languages before they graduate. Wait, is that not a requirement anymore?
Huh? Oh, that used to be a thing?
Oh, Paimon almost forgot that you're also from Haravatat.
So, anyway, how much does this dish cost?
Oh, don't worry, not too much. That'll be, 30,000 mora, please and thank you.
30,000? About that, Paimon, traveler, I merely invited you to join us at the table, did I not? I don't believe I committed to paying for you. So, perhaps we could split the bill accordingly?
Oh, Paimon knew it was too good to be true. Yeah, as a famous merchant, you've got a reputation to uphold.
But every single mora matters, you know? All right. I'll just consider that the cost of learning about this dish. Once I'm back in Sumeru, I'll be sure to find someone to help me recreate the dish. And then I'll make it all back.
This could be an obstacle for Pantaloon.
Let me guess where you're from.
We're off to a good start this morning. Keep up the good work. I'm counting on you.
Haven't you heard? There's a strange wanderer near Wolfendom.
Just one boy.
When I was adventuring in the Ashen Sea.
I swear on the
Better see
archives,
Barbara
I
at the
can't go
cathedral if you're
anymore.
injured. Ad Astra. Thank you for Ad Astra. I shall treasure this good fortune.
my daughter.
La-da-da-da.
Not even one spicy dish.
You gotta try Dawn Winery's.
Just one look.